All right, guys, what is up? You are back for another video with Datazero. This is your daily outlook prediction for stocks and crypto. This video is not financial advice, should not be taken as such. Please do your own research and due diligence for buying any stock or crypto asset. That being said, let's hop in the charts, facts, and data showing you guys what is going on based off of my research and due diligence. So let's go ahead and hop in. All right, so there's some crazy news going on here for AMC. If you guys haven't heard, I have posted it everywhere, so if you haven't heard, you're kind of late to the party, but it's all good. You're getting this information here. So this is wild, y'all, and I want you guys to tell me what you guys think about this in the comments down below. Just give me your thoughts on it, period. Like, what do you think about it? Do you think it's good, bad? Do you think that this could have been possible karma? Do you think nothing bad should happen? Do you think Aron is a good person, a bad person, doing a good job? Let me know in the comments down below. Let's start a discussion. But Aron, okay? He suffered on November 17th, he suffered a minor stroke. Now, I have all of the details here. If you want to read everything, you guys can, but I'll basically give you guys the gist of everything. He is still doing his duties as a CEO. He had a minor stroke. When he had the stroke, he was in England, okay? He got immediately received state-of-the-art emergency medical care. And then he is age 71 as of right now. Also, there doesn't seem to be any sign of him having any mental or physical lasting problems that sometimes can happen with a stroke. And he seems to be all there mentally. So this is the gist of everything. You guys can read all of it as you want. Aron, this is coming directly from his Twitter/X. I have all of it here in its full context, and you guys can pause and read that, but I basically gave you the gist of things. But this did happen. Let me know what you guys think about that in the comments down below. And if you missed in recent news, I don't know how people are saying they don't see this, but if you literally go to Michael Burry's profile, you guys can see it says AMC right here in the corner. So Michael Burry put this on his Twitter/X, bringing some awareness to AMC, shining a spotlight on AMC. Let me know what you guys think about that in the comments below. But this is what we're looking at for meme stock news. Let's go ahead and show you guys what's going on here for the technicals and break that down. Then we'll move into SPY, Bitcoin, and the rest of the other assets. So as you guys can see here, GME starting to pull back. And this is something I talked about on my last couple of videos. I said GME is going to have to pull back. It's going to have to come back down to this liquidity zone, and it's going to have to fill the gap. So I think GME is doing exactly what I said it's going to be doing. We're going to see a little bit of recovery in my personal opinion, but this 2315 is major resistance. If we break above and hold 2315, you would see a nasty pop to the upside, and we've already rallied so far and RSI is so high that I don't believe we're going to be able to hold 2315. Also, we have some things going against us, obviously, because it is GME stock. There's going to be some manipulation. They loaded up on short shares. 5.1 million short shares at time of recording here for GME. So they did load up, and they have been using these short shares to try to control GME and slow down some of this momentum. Of course, they are dark pooling as well. Now, as you guys can see right now, GME recovering a little bit. I do think we're going to push back to the upside, but overall, I still think we're going to have to come down. Now, this could happen between Friday heading into next week. We are still green on the week, but on the daily time frame, as you guys can see, based off of my prediction, I think we're going to come down. And there's a gap fill right here at about 2183 to 2204. That's where I believe we're going to be coming down. That gap has to get filled. We created that gap on this massive rally to the upside off of these lows of 1993 all the way up to 2347. We created this gap. I think we're going to have to come back down, fill that gap, and then push back to the upside, potentially playing out this fractal, which could lead to much bigger moves. Now, I broke down in other videos why I believe that GME is definitely going back to at least $25 to $28, but if GME is able to break and hold $32, things could get explosive, especially if people are willing to hold their warrants, or if they sell their warrants instead of executing them. Executing them would create a little bit of bearish pressure as you do create shares as warrants are executed. But I believe that once GME breaks and holds $32, that will be the blast off zone. And I think we have a good chance of pushing back up towards those ranges as far as the macro is concerned. But as of right now, I think we're going to see a little bit of pullback. I think we're going to see momentum start to fade, GME start to stall. We're going to come back down, fill those gaps, and then push back to the upside. So that's what we're looking at for GME. GME warrants also pulling back with GME as well. They went absolutely crazy, coming off a low of 23.50 all the way up to 487, so gaining a lot of percentage points. GME warrants will continue to go up as GME continues to head towards that $32 level. Now, AMC is starting to flatten out and curl to the upside, which is what we expected. Now, this is kind of crazy. That tweet came out and AMC is up on the day. Let me know what you guys think about that in the comments down below. A lot of crazy stuff going on with the meme stocks right now. I don't know what to tell you guys. I wouldn't wish harm on anyone, but this is just wild what we're seeing. AMC is following the technical, so that's why I believe it's up. You guys can see we're definitely curling to the upside. AMC getting a nice push right now, up about 2% at time of recording, and we're back above the key level of $2.30. If we continue to hold this level of $2.30, you're going to see a push back towards 235, 240 easily, and AMC could easily come back to the upside and continue this overall uptrend, and that's what I think is happening. You guys can see AMC and GME are kind of moving separate from each other now. They're still kind of conjoined, but they're definitely decoupling a little bit in my personal opinion. You guys can see AMC is green on the day while GME is down on the day, and then, you know, the past couple of days it's been vice versa. So just look at the technicals, see what we're watching. Make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe, that way you lock in and know what's going to be happening. But I think we're going to see AMC push back to the upside, and I did call this bottom here. I did call for this rally to the upside, and I think this overall rally is going to continue. I think we're going to make a higher low and start to push back up towards 240, maybe even 250. We have gap fills to the upside as well for AMC, and we have a couple of bullish things coming out here in December, a lot of things with the box office. Also, we've been doing different things, like with the partner with Netflix, we've been showing different events as well, so we don't have to solely rely on the box office, and AMC has been releasing different strategies to try to bring in income as well. So again, things are looking rather bullish for December. We do have that December 10th vote coming up next week, and GME earnings next week's going to be absolutely insane. But I think as far as heading into December 10th, we could definitely see a push back to the upside here for AMC. So this is pretty much everything I'm looking at for the meme stocks. You guys can see right now AMC has 1.8 million short shares. They just dumped some short shares here on AMC. They're running low on those, so that should be good if we continue to the upside, unless you see them load up. And it's at 0.48% cost to borrow. And of course, we do have that recent news that I did explain in the beginning of the video for the meme stock. So that's pretty much everything I'm looking at. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Tune into the live streams as I do give you this analysis and predictions as they do become available. We're definitely starting to get bullish momentum here on AMC, Green MACD 2-hour time frame. I think we're going to see a continuation to the upside, and we're rounding out around that 225, 230 level, which I said we would. AMC starting to push up here into close. Let's go ahead and move into SPY in the overall market, show you guys what's going on there, and then we will head into BTC in cryptocurrency. So SPY here on the macro is still in this overall bullish consolidation. We did break out towards 685. I told you guys we would hit 685 in yesterday's video. We did break out, and that was during pre-market, and then we did have above 685 here during some trading hours as well. We are now starting to pull back a little bit here on SPY. It looks like bearish momentum is building, but I still think we could see this potential breakout here late Friday, so around 2 p.m. power hour Friday, and then also potentially on Monday. Now we have to be careful because we have a major data drop tomorrow. We have several major data drops tomorrow, but the biggest one is going to be core PCE price index. Be ready for that. Going to cause a lot of volatility 11 a.m. Then we also have Michigan consumer sentiment, personal income month over month, and personal spending month over month, which kind of shows where the consumer's at. And this is a pretty big one as well, but not as big as core PCE. So be ready for those data drops. They're all coming out at once at 11 a.m. EST. So be ready for that. Definitely going to cause some volatility, and that's going to definitely depend on if we get this move or not. If those numbers do not align with the market expectations for core PCE are going to be 0.2, which is the previous. So we want to see that. That's the consensus and forecast. So we want to see that number come out about 0.2. in my personal opinion, to maintain with these bullish technicals. Now, as you guys can see, it looks like we're going to be pushing to the upside here again late Friday or potentially Monday, breaking out of this overall bullish structure. But overall, I think SPY is set to go and hit 685 again, ladies and gentlemen. We have this overall bullish consolidation after pushing to the upside. I think this is going to break out either here on Friday or Monday. So this is what we're looking at for SPY in the overall market. I think 685 price target will be able to be hit by Friday's close, in my personal opinion, as long as everything goes good. And at worst case scenario, that would be on Monday when we see that breakout. You would see 685 and possibly much higher. But I do give the lower price targets, that way they are a lot safer, and that's why I said 685 in yesterday's video. Also, recent news, if you guys haven't heard, short sellers are literally destroying the market, in my personal opinion, especially AMC and GME holders. You guys know all about short sellers. We got some delays. There was supposed to be a rule that came out that gave more transparency and clarity to short selling, but guess what? That rule got pushed back, and it's only controversial because the short sellers don't want it. So again, the market is still rigged against the little guy. This is why I say stocks are for trading, not holding. Me personally, I'm more into crypto being able to be held. You can put it in a wallet, forget about it. Can't get reverse split, can't get diluted. So again, me personally, I'm more into crypto when it comes to holding, and stocks are for trading, quick in and out, make the bag. The market is not here for the little guy. So that's some news for you guys as well. Regarding the overall stock market. Let's go ahead and head into BTC and crypto, show you guys what's going on there, and then we will wrap up this video. So Bitcoin's still holding this 92K support and resistance. This is actually pretty bullish, and I talked about a potential recovery here for cryptocurrency. We see here that the fractal is starting to condense, and potentially we could be bottoming off of this 80K level from what I'm seeing. We have this higher low setup. We have all of these buy orders here. As you guys can see, buy orders for support. Also, if we go ahead and zoom out and look at the fractal is very, very aligned in what we would see if Bitcoin were to recover. You can see all of these buy orders here, which I circled in yesterday's video. You can also see that we have this higher low setup, and if you look at the fractal, that's the blue bars that you see on your screen, it shows us very, very clearly what we would need to see if we were to recover. We would have to get back above 100K, and look how the fractal breaks above 100K, uses it as support, and if it were to continue, it would actually show us going to a higher high than the previous high of the last top. So this is very, very, very bullish. Coins like XRP also have a lot of things going on because XRP has the ETFs coming into play. Those are going to bring in a lot of inflows, and the ETF that's on the NASDAQ now has bringing in a lot of inflows. I actually reported about this in yesterday's video as well, if you guys missed that. So do not get shaken out, okay? Again, be fearful when others are greedy. Be greedy when others are fearful. As you guys can see right now, crypto, fear, and greed sitting at 26. Overall, crypto market kind of a mixed bag right now because BTC is mostly flat. But that's to be expected with Bitcoin trending sideways. We might see a little bit of pullback underneath this 92K level, but all in all, I think Bitcoin might consolidate like the fractal saying here and actually recover. So as long as we don't lose 80K, I am still bullish on BTC. We are below the Bitcoin bull market trend line, so we'd have to get back above that for the bull market to be on. But the fractal, if it were to continue, we would break back above that line and make a higher high than the previous top. And if that were to happen, XRP is going to take off, Ethereum is going to take off, and I think we could see some more continuation to the upside, especially in these coins that are starting to get these ETFs. XRP ETF is really performing well, so I'm actually really bullish on XRP. You want to see XRP remain above $2. Anything under $2 is an absolute steal and a buy, in my personal opinion, if you are looking to accumulate XRP. Again, this is not financial advice. XRP, you want to see return back above $253. That would be a sign of recovery. But in order for that to happen, you would need to see BTC push up because Bitcoin dominance is still extremely high, and Bitcoin does control most of the market cap for the whole entire cryptocurrency market. Bitcoin dominance sitting at 57.2% right now. So with Bitcoin dominance being this high, it's really going to control everything in the overall market. So if Bitcoin's sideways, altcoins are going to be sideways. If Bitcoin pumps, altcoins will pump. If Bitcoin dumps, altcoins will dump. And normally altcoins moves will be a little bit more exacerbated than BTC. So say BTC is down 5%, then altcoins would be down like 10, 15%. That's normally what you see when Bitcoin dominance is high. But overall, we're looking good. Green MACD above the blue medium line here on Bitcoin. And I think we're going to push back above the bull market trend line, potentially giving us a full recovery here on cryptocurrency. I told you guys this was a shakeout in my personal opinion, and I am standing by that. Me personally, I'm in crypto for the long term, but I think we are actually really, really good on what we're seeing here for that potential recovery that we're looking for. So this is pretty much everything I'm looking at for stocks and crypto in this video. Make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe. If you watched to the end of the video, thank you so much. So few people watch to the end, and that helps me out with the algorithm immensely. If you guys want to support the channel, again, like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. But if you don't want to do any of that stuff, just make sure you do this. Have fun, stay safe, make money. Peace out, fam.